welcome to another St Andrews Wargaming Battle Report. Today my Orcs are taking on Angus's Sisters of Battle and Inquisition in a 2000 points Maelstrom of War game. We rolled up the mission and got Tactical Gambit, which is where you get 4 cards per turn and you have to bet how many cards you think you'll draw, score that turn before drawing them to get bonus points, and if you don't score them, your opponent gets the bonus points. We placed the objectives, which I'll show you in more detail in a bit, and we rolled for deployment and got Vanguard Strike, which I got to choose. Looking over the battlefield, I chose this side here with some more line of sight blocking terrain, and we're going to take you through the battlefield now. And here you can see the battlefield for today's encounter. Continuing our old school theme with some really nice 2nd edition terrain and 3rd edition terrain. As you can see here, we have the Imperial Card Bastion. This is one of the old 2nd edition card terrain pieces, and this was very kindly sent to me by one of the blog readers, Dave Mary. So thanks again for sending me this. This provides some really nice cover and line of sight blocking terrain for the battlefield. We also have this Imperial Chapel, again another nice piece of kit, and this is in the Citadel Woods surrounded there. We have some of the 3rd edition Gothic ruins, and these were first released with the 3rd edition box set game. As you can see here, we have a sort of set out with the Aegis defence line as a sort of Imperial base that's under attack. And we have the ruins of the chapel in the woods and some more ruins nearby for our forces to fight over. So this will be the battlefield for today's game. And here we have my Orc army. This is 2000 points worth of Orcs, consisting of 2 battalion detachments and 1 Outrider detachment to give me a total of 14 command points. Let's take a closer look at the army. First up, we have a War Boss with a Power Claw and a Custom Shooter. And this is going to be my Warlord, and he's going to take the Might is Right Warlord trait from Chapter Approved, giving him +1 to his Strength characteristic. This takes him up to Strength 7, so with the Power Claw he'll be Strength 14, meaning he'll be wounding vehicles in a 2+, so a nice ability to have. I then have another War Boss with a Custom Shooter and a Big Chopper. And this is going to be the Head Warper's Kill Chopper relic, which gives him the ability to inflict mortal wounds on a roll of a 6 to wound. I then have a Big Mech with a custom force field and a Big Chopper, as you can see on the left here. To finish off the HQ units, we have a Big Mech with a shock attack gun and a Weird Boy, who's going to take the Warpath Psychic Power, which gives a nearby unit +1 attack. For elites, I have a Knob with a Wa Banner to give me +1 to hit, and I also have a Pain Boy to give me some Feel No Pain. For the troops, we have 3 units of 30 boys, each with a Knob with a Power Claw. We have 2 units of Slugger Boys with Sluggers and Choppers, and 1 unit of Shooter Boys with Shooters. 1 unit has 2 Big Shooters, while the Shooter Boys unit has 3 Big Shooters. I also have 3 units of 10 Gretchen, as you can see with these old school 2nd edition models, and this is to round out my 2nd battalion to get me the extra command points. For elites, I have a unit of 4 Mega Knobs with custom combi rocket shooters and Power Claws, and I have a unit of 10 tank busters. For fast attack, I have a unit of 3 warbikers, including a knob with a power claw. And we have 2 war buggies, and these are my looted vehicles from my Death Skulls army, each with a rack of rockets. And then finally, I have a battle wagon with 3 big shooters attached. So overall my plan is, I'm going to put the War Boss Warlord, the knob with the WA banner, the Mega Armor knobs and the Tank Busters will go into the battle wagon. So the knob with the WA banner will give me +1 to hit on the Mega Knobs, meaning they'll still be hitting on 3s with their power claws, and my Warlord will still be hitting on 2s. This will be a unit for going after enemy vehicles or big threats in the enemy army, thanks to the rockets and the power claws. I then have 3 units of 30 boys to advance up the table to get to grips with the enemy army, supported by the other war boss and the mech with the custom force field, the pain boy and the weird boy. So that should give me quite a lot of attacks if I can get my psychic power off. The fast attack options, so I've got a unit of 3 war bikes and the 2 war buggies with the rockets. These are more these are more of annoyance units. I basically wanted a few fast units that could go out and grab objectives, and the extra rocket shot should be useful if I need to deal with some vehicles. Maybe I'll get a few shots in. 3 units of grots I can use to defend against deep strikers or to secure objectives in my backfield. So that's my 2,000 points of Orcs. Let's take a look at the other army. It's 2,000 points of Sisters of Battle and Inquisition. So he's just going to take us through the army now and see what we've got in store.
Okay, in HQ choices we have Celestine, who'll be my warlord and will take the Tenacious Survivor trait. We also have a Canoness with the Sister's Relic Power Sword and an Inferno Pistol. In troops choices we have 3 units of Sisters of Battle with just, Storm Bolters. In fast attack there are 2 units of Dominions maxed out on Melter Guns, 1 unit Seraphim with Inferno Pistols and Plasma Pistol. In elite choices we have an Imagifier. And then in heavy support we have a unit of Retributors with heavy bolters. They're all being carried around in an Immolator with twin multi-melter, 3 repressors, and then in the Inquisition detachment we have 2 single-man units of Acolytes with bolters and bolt pistols, a Jokero, an Inquisitorial Land Raider Prometheus, which is a bit of a mouthful. It's a 4-12 unit and it's armed with a Hunter Killer Missile and 2 quad heavy bolters. And then my Inquisitor is armed with a Power Maul, Plasma Pistol, and will know the Dominate Psychic Power.
Okay, so I've played Angus's Sisters a few times. The Forge World Repressors are a good unit. They've got a lot of firepower and some, let's call them interesting Forge World rules about falling back and shooting. Celestine's a very tough unit to face. Haven't faced the Land Raider yet, but it's very strong against my Orcs with its 2 quad heavy bolters, I think, and very tough to take down. So hopefully this will be quite an interesting matchup. Here we are with deployment for the Orcs. As you can see, the boys have set up pretty far ahead of the army. So we have a unit of Slugger boys on the left here with a rocket truck beside them. We have some Gretchen at the back here ready to move up on the objective when the boys vacate it. We have the mech with the shock attack gun at the back here with another unit of Grots ready to move up on the objective. Shooter boys in the centre with the battle wagon, and here I have the big mech with the custom force field, the war boss, the pain boy and the weird boy next to a unit of Slugger boys, and we have another unit of Gretchen on the far flank here to move up on the objective again. Here we have the rocket buggy and the warbikers just sitting at the back. And here we have Angus's deployment. We have on his left flank a repressor with a unit of Melta Dominion inside. We then have repressors with retributors with heavy bolters holding the objective in the chapel here with an imagifier. Yeah, got it right. Imagifier beside them. Then we have the bulk of the army opposite the Orc force. We have the Land Raider at the back here, and the Seraphim surrounding the two repressors and the Immolator with the twin multi-melters in the back there. And as you can see, we have them opposite the Orc horde shown there. So not a huge amount of line of sight blocking, but then again not a massive amount of firepower from the Sisters of Battle army. So we should hopefully survive the initial volley. Angus finished deploying first, so we'll get +1 to the roll. We'll just check out the objectives here for the Maelstrom mission. So over here we have Objective 4 in the ruins. We have Objective 6 in the ruins of the chapel here. We have number 3, which Angus placed right in the centre here, so there'll be a nice fight for that. We have our number 5, our communications array next to the Aegis line. We have number 1 right in the Orc deployment zone here, and we have number 2 over here behind the bastion, which, as I said, my grots will be ready to move up and secure based on my objective cards. So, Angus finished deploying first and gets the +1. I'll just roll and see what I get. A 3, not great, and a 6. So Angus definitely takes the first turn unless I can seize the initiative. Can I? Oh. Yes! I seized the initiative from the Sisters, so we'll come back to you with Orcs turn 1. So before my turn, Angus used his scout move on his Dominion repressor to move it from beside the woods here, just to behind the ruins there. His other unit that could scout move was the central vehicle there, but it can't really do anything because it's surrounded. He could move closer to the Orcs, but with me being able to advance and assault near the war boss, probably not the wisest of choice. So we'll come back to you with cards drawn for Orc turn 1. So for my first turn, I bet 2 cards and I drew Mission Critical Objective number 4, Secure Objective 2, Secure Objective 5, and Defend Objective 2. Objective 4 is out here, near the grots and the Slugger Boys, so that may be possible. Objective 2 is over here in my deployment zone, so that's pretty easily achievable. And Objective 5 is over here, next communication array. So with a good advance roll for my boys, that should be pretty achievable. So as I bet 2, I think 2 should be quite achievable this turn. So a good set of cards for me. We'll come back to you with the movement phase. So after the movement phase for turn 1 of the Orcs, this is what it looks like. I advanced the rocket buggy to try and get into range to secure Objective 5. Unfortunately, I didn't get high enough with a reroll. With the Slugger Boys, I needed a 4-inch advance to get in the range of the objective, and I rolled a 3. Should have saved the reroll for that. Not some great advance rolls. I am securing Objective 1 with the Gretchen for now. I'll hold Objective 2 and I'll defend it, but unfortunately that won't get me my bonus points. I can't secure Objective 5, and I can't get Mission Critical Objective 4 at this point. So unfortunately, by the end of my turn, I'm not going to be able to score the 2 points, and Angus is going to end up with the bonuses. So I should be able to secure Objective 2 and defend Objective 2 in my turn. Hopefully I'll be able to get First Blood, and that'll give me some good points. But that means that in turn 2, unless Angus has an amazing round of shooting, I should be able to get all 3 objective cards, so I might be able to bet big on that. So we'll see how that goes. We'll come back to you with the Orc shooting phase. So, first up for the Orc shooting, this battle wagon, or the tank busters inside this battle wagon, are going to target this Immolator on the far side to get rid of those nice multi-melter shots to keep my battle wagon safe. So I've got 13 command points left, and I'm going to use the Daka stratagem on the tank busters. So every 6 to hit is going to give me an extra shot. So hitting on 5s with the assault weapons for the tank busters and the emulator, and re-rolling to hit because of tank busters. It's pretty good, but that's 4 extra shots on top of these. Rerolls. Oh, so that's 9 hits from the tank busters with Daka. Wounding on 3s because I'm strength 8. And that is not so good. That's only 4. Do you know what? Let's use the command point reroll on that. And that's another 1. So that's me down to 11 command points, but 5 wounds at -2.
Needing a 5-up to save against this.
And that's 9 damage goes through on the emulator.
Takes it down to 1.
Takes it down to 1 wound left, so we'll come back to you with the rest of the orc shooting. Okay, so we put the 4 rockets from the Mega Knobs in the truck, the 2 custom shooters from the War Boss and the knob with the Wabanner into it, and the big shooters from the battle wagon into that emulator, and it's still alive on 1 wound. I'm going to have to add some more firepower to try and take this out. Okay, so we're going to fire the shock attack gun from the big mech at the back of the battlefield there, and it's have to go into this emulator to see if you can take it out. So D6 shots, 4 shots, not terrible. 5s to hit. 1 hit, strength 2d6, strength 8, so that's not too bad. So 1 hit, and that's a wound at -5, so that goes through Autumn.
No.
Oh no.
We've got an invuln save. So also this is a battle with a 6-up invuln, boosted to a 5-up from being near Celestine. So yeah.
Oh, that was a 6. No way. Okay, let's see what else we can do. So this war buggy that advanced fired at the emulator, needing 6s to hit with my 2 shots, didn't do anything. This rocket buggy over here fired at this emulator, didn't do any hits. The war bikers are out of range, so it's down to the 2 squads with big shooters firing at the emulator to take 1 wound and get me first blood. So the first squad, it's 9 shots hitting on 6s because I advanced. That's 1 hit, 5s to wound. That's 1 wound.
3-up armor save against this?
No!
I am going to command point that.
Yes, that's wise.
Pointing it to a fail.
Oh, and the emulator is gone. Finally, and that is first blood. We'll see, does it explode?
Puts it down. Yeah, okay.
No, that's fine. So we'll come back to you with that. So the emulator didn't blow up, and I actually killed 2 of the squad inside. Angus decided that he would take off the Canoness. He doesn't think she's going to do much in this game, but that does allow him at the end of the phase.
At the end of the phase, to use the Maelstrom stratagem on the 2-up.
Yeah, so he can use the Martyrdom stratagem to allow one of his units to either shoot or...
to perform an act of faith, so shoot or move.
So that could be potentially useful to get some attacks in at my orcs before they have a chance. But before that happens, I do have 1 big shooter left. Sorry, a unit with 2 big shooters that's going to target... So this unit, Slugger Boys, is going to target the unit of Sisters that just came out of the vehicle. So hitting on 6s, that's nothing. So with that, that is the end of the orc shooting phase. So, Angus is going to use the Martyrdom stratagem, so on a 2-up, he gets to use an Act of Faith. He rolls a 1, and he's already used his command point reroll for this phase.
For this phase.
So that costs him a command point for nothing. That's lucky for me. So at the end of my turn, nothing is in range to charge, because I didn't get really good advance rolls, although I don't think I could have charged anyway with a perfect advance roll. At the end of my turn, I will score secure objective 2. I will start defending objective 2. I won't score Secure Objective 5 or Mission Critical Objective, but I am going to hold on to them because I can score them next turn. But that gives me First Blood and Secure Objective 2, and that gives me 2 points. But I didn't achieve 2 objectives, perhaps foolishly going for 2, so Angus now gets 2 points. So that leaves Orcs first turn with the score being 2 points each. And we'll come back to you with the Sisters of Battle turn 1. So not pretty decent turn for the Orcs. I got some good objectives, managed to get First Blood, but not the greatest of shooting, but that's really not where the Orcs excel. So we'll come back to you, we'll see how the Sisters reply to the Orcs. So this is Angus's cards for turn 1. He bet 1 objective, which is probably wise after what I did. His first card he drew was Domination, which he decided he would spend the 2 command points to discard, which was wise. Got Overwhelming Firepower, so a good chance of that. Secure Objective 3, which is possible. Defend Objective 1, which is in my deployment zone, so it's unlikely. And Secure Objective 6. So Angus currently has a unit sitting on Objective 6 beside the chapel here. 3's in the centre, which is possible, but it's probably going to mean sacrificing a unit. 1 is back here, which is not going to be possible at all, but Overwhelming Firepower is entirely likely. So overall, a pretty good round of cards for Angus. I think he's feeling happy with that. So at the start of his turn, Angus tried to use his Act of Faith to get the Retributors in the runes here to fire at the Orcs. However, he didn't roll high enough. He needed a 4 up, he only rolled a 3. So no Act of Faith for the Sisters this turn.
No, for the Imagifiers, I've still got the Army Wide.
That's just the Imagifiers. You've got the Army Wide. What are you going to do with that?
The Army Wide Act of Faith is going to be to move the Seraphim as though at the movement phase on a 2 up.
And he does, thankfully.
Then Celestine's movement Act of Faith will go off automatically.
So they're going to move up in the battle wagon. I think he wants to pop this to get to the good units inside. So we'll come back to you with the rest of the movement phase.
Oh, sorry, no, that request over.
So the Sisters movement phase continued. The Repressor here moved round to hold this objective and into range of the War Buggy here, so you can shoot and get Overwhelming Firepower. The Seraphim and Celestine used their Acts of Faith and their normal move to move up on the battle wagon here. This Repressor came to join them. The Battle Sisters from the Destroyed Squad moved up. The Land Raider shuffled over slightly. Before that though, the Inquisitor got out and the Jaquero got out and hid behind the Land Raider shown here. This Repressor moved back slightly just to get out of range of some of the shooting, but still in range to use its weapons. So I'll just give you an overhead view of the battlefield. The end of the movement phase for Sisters turn 1. The Sisters manoeuvring into position and getting even closer to the Orcs. So the psychic phase, the Inquisitor is going to try and smite the battle wagon.
Yep, that
That's
goes off.
8. Let's see if I can block it. No, I'm just out of range. I'm just out of 24-inch range, so that smite goes through on the battle wagon and does 3 mortal wounds. So a nice start. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase for the Sisters of Battle. So, the start of the shooting phase, the Jaquero is going to use his ability on the Land Raider. So we roll a d3 and you get some bonuses for that.
That is reroll all failed hit rolls, but I am going to command point that because none of the options are bad, and the third option is reroll both.
Okay.
So, yes.
Reroll
all failed hit rolls and rerolls. That's
a good use of command points. So the Jaquero is allowing the Land Raider to reroll all failed to hit and to win rolls. So this could be nasty for the Orcs. So we're going to start off with the Seraphim here. They are going to fire their Melta pistols, a crack grenade and a plasma pistol into the battle wagon, whereas the bolt pistols are going to go into the boys. So hopefully the big mech has been keeping up on his custom force field to save me here. So
Melta pistols.
Melta pistols. That's 4 hits, and that's 3s to wound. That's 2 wounds, and can I save them? I saved 1. So that's not so bad. Let's do the damage. That's 6 damage, so that's 9 wounds taken so far on the battle wagon. So the plasma gun, or the plasma pistol did 1 wound on the battle wagon, taking it down to 6 wounds. The crack grenade hit and failed to wound. The 6 bolt pistols hit and wounded the boys here. I rolled for my saves. I made 1 custom force field save out of the 6, and then this is what I rolled for the pain boy. So 1 orc falls alone. Pretty good result. Hopefully you can keep this up for the game. So the squad inside this repressor are going to fire their melter guns at the battle wagon, hoping to finish it off. So let's see how it gets on. That's 3 hits for the battle wagon. That's 2 wounds. Do we have a custom force field? Saves 1, so that's D6 damage. That's a 2, so nope, command points have been used. That is the battle wagon now down to 4 wounds, but still surviving.
And everything in here is fired as well.
So the Stormbolt squads inside this repressor fired at the orc boys. The shooter boys over here, and the repressor here fired at it as well, managing to kill 6 of them after the pain boy performed some more good work, saving a couple of the wounds. So 6 boys gone. I don't have the custom force field save because the entire unit's not within 9, but they are within 6 of the pain boy, so I was getting some saves. So we've lost 6 orcs from this unit and 1 orc from the slugger boys so far. So, continuing the shooting, the repressor here is going to fire its heavy flamer into the Gretchen, getting how many shots? Cocked. No, that's not good.
What toughness is Gretchen?
Gretchen of toughness 2, so 2's to win.
Yep,
that is 6 dead Gretchen. That is not good for me. And the Stormbolter added its firepower and did no hits, so 4 of my Gretchen survive. So, the squad inside this repressor, he is in frag grenade range, which was my fault, I should have removed that. So 1 frag grenade in at the Gretchen here, and then 4 melter gun shots in at this war buggy to try and claim overwhelming firepower for once. So, frag grenade gets 4 shots, this could wipe them.
Oh no.
2 hits, 3's to win, sorry. 1 wound, and I get a 5-up save, I believe. Yes, that is saved. Let's just check on that. So, the Gretchen do have a 6-up save, so 5-up for being in cover. The Gretchen survived. Now the melter guns into the war buggy.
And the combi.
Yep, that's 4 hits, 3's to wound. That is 4 wounds. AP4, so no save. Let's roll up for the damage, and it's probably a dead war buggy.
That's probably a dead one, buddy.
Is 20 wounds. I'll check my index. I don't think the war buggy has 20 wounds though, so let's see if it blows up. It does not, so that's 1 kill, and that's the first point for overwhelming firepower. So, the Land Raider is trying to take out the battle wagon. It's going to target them with the Hunter Killer missile and 1 quad heavy bolter, whereas the second quad heavy bolter is going to go into the shooter boys here, who have been a bit diminished by the firepower of the enemy army. So let's roll up to see if we can destroy the battle wagon, which is on 4 wounds remaining.
Hunter Killer missile?
Hits. 3's to wound. It wins.
-2.
Ooh, this is a 5-up. No, gets through.
D6 damage for 5.
5, that's enough to destroy it. Does it blow up? It does not, but let's come back and see what happens to the squad inside. So, the battle wagon's gone. I rolled and lost 3 guys inside. The pretty congested in the centre here, so the Mega Nobs and the War Boss have deployed here, and the 7 remaining Tank Busters have deployed in this region, next to the mech with the custom force field and the Pain Boy, because I have a funny feeling there's a bit of Retributor fire coming their way now. So the second quad bolter from the Land Raider fired at the shooter boys here, killing 9 of them. So this unit of shooter boys pretty much decimated. And now we're going to see what the Retributors in the ruins here can see and what they can fire at. So the Retributors are going to split fire. They're going to fire 2 heavy bolters at the wounded shooter boys over here.
No, into the tank busters.
Oh, sorry, that's right, into the tank busters, and the rest are going to go into the slugger boys here, trying to diminish them slightly. We'll see how we get on. So into the tank busters first. That's all hits.
No.
Oh, sorry, 5 hits, and that is 5 wounds. And I get a custom force field save. Oh, which is 4 saved. And can the pain boy help? No, so we lose 1 more tank buster. So the firepower of the Retributors came in, only managing to kill 1 of these slugger boys with the other heavy bolters and the bolters of the squad, and the Imagifier fired. Her pistols were wounded, but once again the mech custom force field saved the day. So that's the end of the sisters shooting phase. Not too bad. Killed the battle wagon, decimated a unit of shooter boys, and hurt the tank busters, but overall not as bad as it could have been. So we'll see if there are any assaults to go. So Celestine elected to charge the Meganobs and tank busters. A great round of Overwatch fire. So 1 Meganob kill 1 of the Gemini Superior. The tank busters managed to get 2 hits and 2 wounds with 1 of my command point rerolls, taking me down to 11. But Angus made both 4-up invuns, annoyingly, so we could have taken another. So let's roll for the charge distance, see if they get in.
That should make it.
Yep, 6 inches is enough to make it in. So they're going to move in. We'll see if there's any more charges for the Sisters of Battle. So this Repressor declared a charge on the shooter boys. I managed to do 1 wound in Overwatch for the shooters, and let's see if it makes it in.
No,
4. 4's not enough to make it in.
Not enough. I need at least a 6 to get in.
Do you want to command point that?
I'm gonna go with no, actually, because it's not that important.
Oh. Okay.
I doubt you can kill all of them.
So at the end of the phase, I have heroically intervened with my war boss into the Seraphim rather than Celestine. Might be worth going after Celestine, but hopefully the Meganobs will be able to take care of her. We shall see. We shall see. So on to the combat phase now.
Oh, you've got to get them out.
So Celestine is going to put all her attacks into the Meganobs.
Yep.
So let's see how she gets on.
Needing 2s to hit.
That's all hits.
Strength 7 with her Ardent Blade. Your toughness
4, I believe.
Well, it's not going to be more than 7, so
yep.
3s. Oh, my God.
That is horrendous. That is 1 wound at minus
3, 2 damage.
So 1 wound at minus 3. That is a save for the Meganobs. So not great.
Yeah.
For Celestine. And the Gemini, he decided is going to go into the tank busters.
It's 1 hit.
1 hit.
No wound.
Oh,
wow.
That is a horrendous roll for the Sisters of Battle. So Celestine could be in a bit of a trouble here, although she does resurrect. So we'll come back to you with the Orc attacks after this. So the Meganobs are going to attack back on Celestine over here. All 4 attacking, so that's 12 attacks, hitting on 3s. They are normally -1 to hit because the WA banner's there. They're +1 to hit. So that's hitting on 3s. That is 10 hits. Strength 10, so that's wounding on 2s. That is 7 wounds against Celestine. So that saves at -3, so that's 4-up invuln.
So first one on the girl, she's alive. Next one on the girl, she's alive. On the girl, she dies.
She dies. She'd already been wounded, so she dies, and that's 2 wounds left on Celestine.
Both go through.
Both go through, and that's D3 damage apiece. That's cocked. For 4 damage.
She does have a 6-up feel no pain for a war trait. We ignore 1 of those.
So 3 wounds go through on Celestine, and we'll see if the tank busters can do anything to her. So the tank busters attack Celestine and manage to cause 4 wounds. No minuses on this. Let's see.
2-up save?
Yeah, she's fine. So Celestine survives, and then we're going to see what the war boss can do against the Seraphim here. So the war boss attacked, hitting on a 2+ because he's near the WA banner. Only hit with 2 of his 4 attacks and managed to kill 1 of the Seraphim. So hopefully next turn I can take a few more of them out. So that is the end of the combat phase. Celestine is wounded, has got a couple of wounds left.
Down to 4 wounds.
Down to 4 wounds, so she may be in trouble next turn. The war boss didn't really do much against the Seraphim, but he's got a lot of help coming in the next phase. So at the end of his turn, Angus will score overwhelming firepower, but only for 1 point, as he only killed 2 units in the shooting phase. He scored secure objective 6 as well. And does he want to discard secure objective 3 or defend objective 1? Oh no, he will secure objective 3
I will secure 3, yeah.
So he scores overwhelming firepower, secure objective 3 and secure objective 6 for 3 points. His bonus 1 point,
only about 1.
Taking him to 4. And he's going to discard defend objective 1, which is over here. I will also score defend objective 2 for 2 points. So at the end of turn 1, that takes us to 4 points each.
I'm slightly more than that because I gained your 2 for the first turn.
Oh yes, sorry, it's 5.
So it's 6. It's 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 for the bet.
That's true. So it's 6 to 4 at the end of turn 1. Just some morale to do for the Gretchen. The tank busters will pass the morale because they're within 6 inches of this large mob here, and the shooter boys will also pass their morale because they are in range of this 30 strong squad here. So no problem there. But the Gretchen will suffer from morale. That's 2. I believe that is a dead squad of Gretchen. So, going into Orc turn 2, I bet 2 cards because I have Mission Critical Objective and Secure 5, which I'm going to get. I had that from last turn. I also drew... Initially I drew Domination, but again spent the 2 command points to discard that because it's not likely. Redrawing No Prisoners, which is very good for me. Kill a unit, essentially, and kill 3 units for D3. And Secure Objective 1, which again I have Gretchen sitting on. So, Secure Objective 1 I have here. Secure Objective 5 I'm going to get. I should be able to get No Prisoners for 3, as hopefully I'll be able to kill off Celestine, the Seraphim, and some units over here. And Mission Critical Objective 4, which Angus is now controlling, so I should get D3 points for that if I can surround it and kill it with a unit. So that's going to be a good round of cards for me, and we'll come back to you with the end of the movement phase for the Orcs. So that's the Orc movement phase for turn 2. I moved these Warbikers up, getting 2 into range of the objective so that I can steal it. Probably not going to target this transport, so that if I do destroy it, the OBSEC units come out and they steal it from me. The Slugger boys here moved up towards the Seraphim, supported by the Big Mech, the Weird Boy, the new War Boss, who's moved round and is going to try and get in Celestine. The Tank Busters fell back from combat, don't want them to die. The Shooter Boys, remains of the Shooter Boys, moved up in this vehicle. The Slugger boys moved up towards here, while War Buggy went to secure the objective there, and the Grots went to secure the 2 objectives in my backfield. So pretty good position for the Orcs. I should be able to take, hopefully get No Prisoners for a few points here. If I can kill 3 units, which maybe, we'll see how that goes on. But we'll come back to you with the Psychic phase for the Orcs now. So, we counted that up. This Weird Boy here in the crater has 40 Orc boys within range of him, so that's +4 to Psychic test. Anything of 12 or more are perils. Just thinking though, I was going to cast Warpath, but I probably have enough attacks to deal with the Seraphim. I think I might go for a Smite, because I get +4 to the casting. That means I need a 7 or more to get D6 on Celestine, which is a good chance of killing her, so I think that's what we're going to do. So let's see. Psychic phase. Oh, I get a... Do you know what? Let's command point that. On a 4 or more I can get D6 Smite and potentially hurt her. Yes, yep. That's 11, so that's D6 damage for the Smite.
I will, however, attempt to block that using the Sister's Deny the Witch.
Probably wise.
4 up, just using a single command point. No. 4 command points left. I don't know. See, Celestine's probably going to die from your Mega Knobs anyway.
But then if I smite Celestine, my Mega Knobs can charge into your Seraphim and definitely finish them off.
Probably I'm going to say they're dead anyway.
True.
I'm not sure about this, but I will command point it. So it goes off anyway.
And it's D6 damage. A 1. So 1 wound on Celestine, she gets her save.
6 up to ignore it. Nope. So she's down to 3 wounds.
And I'm down to 8 command points. Not ideal. Not ideal. I probably should have saved the roll for that. But that's the psychic phase. We'll go back to the shooting phase and see how we get on. So the start of the Orc shooting phase, the big mech with the shock attack gun is going to fire across the field at the repressor here in front of the boys. Hopefully we can crack that and get to the squads inside. He gets D6 shots. That's 1 shot only. Probably worth the command point actually. I don't have anything else to spend them on, so command point reroll for 1 shot. Oh, come on. Can he hit? He doesn't even hit, so there's no point seeing what the strength is. That's fine. So we'll come back to you with the rest of the Orc shooting to see if they're all as successful as that. So, the rest of the Orc shooting phase, the Shooter boys fired in, and the Slugger boys fired in at this Battle Sister squad here, killing 2 of them.
Only 1.
Oh, sorry, only 1 of them. The War Buggy fired at the Repressor, but did no damage. This squad of Slugger boys fired at the Repressor, did no damage. The big shooters targeted the Retributors, again did no damage. The War Bikers fired at this Repressor, managing to do a single wound, which is fine. The Tank Busters fell back, so no shooting from them. And now we go into the best part, the charge phase. And let's see how we get on. So, my War Boss, who's not in combat, is going to charge Celestine. And he makes it in, look, just with a 3. This unit of Slugger boys, I'll come back to in a second. These Slugger boys are going to charge the Seraphim, and I put in a charge at the Inquisitor over here, just in case I roll high enough. Overwatch did nothing, so I need a 9 to get in at the Inquisitor. 3 is not enough for the Inquisitor, but more than enough for the Seraphim, so they will move in as well. So the squad here, the Slugger boys made a good charge and against the 2 Battle Sisters there. Just thinking, this Repressor has a Heavy Flamer and a Stormbolter. Do I charge in the Shooter boys? If the Overwatch isn't terrible, I could actually survive to wrap round it and stop the unit inside from shooting and stop it from falling back, thereby potentially eliminating one of his units from shooting. So I think it's worth it. So let's see if this is a good call. What's the Overwatch? The Heavy Flamer. 1 shot, that's pretty good.
1 wound.
1 wound, so 1 dies.
And the Stormbolter for
1 hit.
And 1 wound.
1 wound, get a 6 up save. Nope, that's 2 die. And let's see what I roll for the charge. I need this to be a big one to do my plan of wrapping round. It's pretty respectable, so we'll take the casualties off and move them in. So as you can see, an 8-inch move has got me round to here. I haven't gone into base contact, so I can pile in to surround it and then consolidate to make sure it's surrounded and it can't fall back. So with that, we'll move on to the combats. It's important to choose which one first, because I think I'm definitely going to get interrupted with Celestine. Overall, I think I will go with this could be a mistake, but I think I'll go with the boys on the Seraphim, because I want to wipe them out. He can get a lot of attacks back. Celestine may take out some of the Mega Knobs, but hopefully I'll have enough to deal with her. Although this could be an error. Let's see. So we'll roll up the attack, see if any Seraphim survive. So I just did the attack from the boys. That was 76 attacks just with the boys. Caused 38 wounds, and unsurprisingly the Seraphim did not survive. So with that, we'll move on to the other charging units. So now the War Boss here is going to attack Celestine. That is 4 attacks for the War Boss, hitting on a 2. with the big chopper relic. That's 4 hits, strength 8 thanks to the chopper relic. I'm looking for 6s here. No 6s, but that is 4 wounds at -2.
4 up. 2 go through.
2 go through, D3 damage apiece. For 3, let's command point one of these. That's 5 wounds on Celestine.
3 6-ups coming right.
Oh, so close.
But that's not a killer.
No, she dies.
So she resurrects.
Hold up, Angus actually decided not to interrupt because he only had 2 command points left, and he was definitely wanting to save 1 for Celestine's resurrection. So, does she resurrect?
She does.
She does, so that's fine. And we'll finish off the rest of the combats and come back to you with the end of the Orc turn. So, the Slugger Boys here managed to kill the 2 Sisters of Battle, and we're in range to consolidate into the Land Raider, which was a great bonus. It's going to stop him shooting, but he will get his attacks back. The Shooter Boys here managed to wrap around the Repressor to stop it from falling back and shooting properly in its turn, and we're actually able to put 3 wounds on it in the attack phase. So we're going to have the Land Raider attack back. Let's see if it does any damage.
6 attacks, hitting on 6s. Nope, nothing.
Nothing. So Celestine did get a resurrection, and Angus decided to bring her in here behind my lines where I'd left a gap, meaning she's well pressed to target my vulnerable characters at the back here. So this could be risky for them. So we'll just see the points that I score at the end of turn 2. The Repressor also got to attack back but did no damage to the boys in combat, so it's going to stay surrounded. So at the end of my turn, I'm going to score no prisoners for 3 points, because I killed the Battle Sisters, the Seraphim, and
Celestine for the first time.
The Celestine, so that's D3. That's for 3. So that's good for me. I'll also get Secure Objective 5, which is held over here. I'll get Secure Objective 1, which is here. And I'll also get Mission Critical Objective number 4 for D3. And that's another 3. And my bonus 2, so that gives me 6, 7, 8, 10 points this turn in 1 turn. So that takes the total at the end of Orc turn 2 to 14 points to the Orcs and 6 for the Sisters of Battle. So quite a way to come back for Angus here at the end of turn 2. So the start of Sisters of Battle turn 2, Angus only bet 1 card because he had no cards in hand, so he didn't want to risk it. He got Assassinate, which is pretty good for Celestine to get the Orc characters. No Prisoners, which again is good for killing stuff. And then 2 lots of Secure Objective 1, which is possible. He could take it off the Gretchen, the Tank Busters, but realistically he can only do one or the other. Yeah, exactly. He can go after the characters for Assassinate and no prisoners, or go after the objectives for no prisoners and secure 1, assuming he can take out the Gretchen and the Tank Busters. So we'll come back and see what Angus decides to do on turn 1. So Angus used his Axe of Faith on Celestine to bring back one of the Gemini on 1 wound, and he's going to use the army-wide Axe of Faith to fire with the Retributors here at the Slugger Boys, I'm assuming.
Yep.
So does this go off on a 2-up?
Please do. Yes.
It does. So we're going to come back with that shooting. So the Heavy Bolters firing at the Slugger Boys.
3s. Not bad. Better.
Could be a lot better.
3s to wounds. So there's only 4 wounds on the Slugger Boys.
4 wounds on the Slugger Boys. I've got my custom force field save because I didn't consolidate from combat, so I'm still in range. That's 2 saved, and the Pain Boy. Nope, 2 die. So not brilliant, but not terrible.
Okay, that was got.
So, the end of the movement phase, turn 2 for the Sisters. The Battle Sisters, the Dominion here, decided to get out of the Repressor and the Ruins and move up on the Big Mech. Angus figuring if he can take the Big Mech out with the 4 melter guns, which is a safe bet, it'll make this unit of Slugger Boys much easier to deal with his firepower. The Repressor just moved around the ruins here. Celestine decided to go after the Tank Busters and Gretchen to try and secure Objective 1 over here. This Repressor remains locked in combat with the boys. The Land Raider, the Acolytes got out the Land Raider, the Inquisitor moving up in the crater there to help them, when the Land Raider fell back with the Jacero getting inside to keep himself safe, while this other Repressor moved up on my unit of Slugger Boys here. So could be interesting here. If everything pays off with Angus's plans, he's going to get quite a few points for securing Objective 1. He could get a number of points for Assassinate, because I foolishly left my characters out in the open. There's potentially 4 characters here, in the Big Mech, the Weird Boy, the Pain Boy, and the Knob with the Wabanner. So that if he can kill 3 of them, that'll be a good bonus points for him. So we'll see what happens in the Psychic phase now for the Sisters of Battle and the Inquisition. So the Psychic phase, we're going to get a smite from the Inquisitor. That's a 9, that goes off. So the Weird Boy's in range to try and deny it. No, I fail. So it's D3 mortal wounds on the Orc Boys, and they take 1. So with that, we go on to the shooting phase for the Sisters of Battle, and this could be a key turning point in the game, depending on how that goes. So, start the shooting phase for the Sisters. We're going to get 1 combi melter going into the Pain Boy, and the rest of the melter guns are going to go into the Big Mech. So this could be potential disaster for me. So, shots into the Big Mech to start with. That's only 2 hits. Do you want to command point one of them? Your last command point? Oh no, you've got 2 left.
2 left. It's probably worth it because he really needs to die, so I will command point one of those to a hit. That's
3 hits, 2's to wound, I believe. He is toughness 4, so that's 3 wounds, 3 5-up saves. Can I do it? Oh, I saved 1, so 2 go through, so that's 2d6 damage, picking the highest. 4. That is 6 for 1, so that's 9 feel no pains. 9 feel no pains. I need to make 6 of these to keep him alive, although I have been rolling a lot of 6s this game. But not this time, not a single one. The Big Mech falls there. And 1 shot into the Pain Boy.
A single combi melter shot hits.
Doesn't wound. Are we going to command point that one?
Oh, I've already spent the command point.
Oh, you spent the command point. So the Pain Boy somehow survives, but the Big Mech does fall. So that's at least 1 point for Assassinate now. So Celestine in the squad, the Flamer killed 1 grot, the Frag Grenade killed 1 grot, 2 grot, sorry. The Bolt Pistol hit and wounded, but I saved it. The squad inside the Repressor here fired their bolt pistols at the boys, wounding them twice, but then I rolled a double 6 to save. Now we have the Repressors are going to fire into this unit of Slugger Boys, and with the mech with the custom force field dead, this could hurt them. So the Retributors managed to fire at the boys here, caused 6 wounds, of which I saved 1 with the Pain Boy save, so 5 of them died in total. And now we're going to get this Repressor squad over here firing. So, the Repressor over here fired, the Stormbolter killed 1, the Heavy Flamer got 6 shots and killed all 6, which is good. The squads inside killed a few more. I think I lost 12 from this unit with the shooting. So that will probably be a morale check for them, potentially they could fail. May have been a bit more than 12. So with that, good round of shooting, we will move on and see what the charge phase brings us.
Because if I can get like...
So, Angus is debating here. He can either put Celestine and the Seraphim into the Tank Busters and the Grots. If he can kill enough of them, he can secure the objective and get to secure objective 1, or he can elect to charge into the Pain Boy and the Weird Boy with his Battle Sister squad, his Dominion and Celestine. If he can kill both of them, he will get D3 points for Assassinate. So he can either try and get the 2 points for securing objective 1. What he could also potentially do is declare a charge against the tank busters and the characters with the Dominion squad, and if he rolls high enough, he can ignore the characters and get in on the Dominion to help wipe them out. So let's see what he decides to do. So after debating, Angus has decided that Celestine is going to go after the Pain Boy and the Weird Boy. If he can kill both of them, he will get D3 points for Assassinate. And he'll also get D3 points for no prisoners for killing 3 units. So that's 2D3. If he rolls as well as I did for mine, that puts him back in the game. So let's see. Well, he's going to make the charge, I think. Let's just roll and see.
So it's on box cards.
Yeah, that's a 5. He's made it in just. And I think, oh, I get to do... No, I don't think I do get to do Overwatch. I don't think I have any shooting attacks, so they're in.
Celestine's going to position himself.
So the charge phase, the Dominion made it in as well, quite easily. I heroically intervened with my WA banner. He wasn't declared as a target, so he can't be targeted. But my War Boss over here, unfortunately, wasn't close enough to heroic, thanks to some strategic play from Angus. In other charges, this Repressor is going to assault the boys here. We'll do some Overwatch fire, which probably isn't going to do that much damage to it. And we'll come back to you with the combats after this. So, Overwatch did a single wound, and then Angus rolled a double 1 for his charge. Are you wanting to command point that?
I've got 1 command point left, and the only place which I'd really use it is Martyrdom, but I don't think I'll get a good use out of that this game, so I will spend my last command point to reroll that 1. Oh my god!
Always happens with the command. So, the Repressor, staring at the face of the Orc boys, has now failed to charge it. That's not good, because this mob should do quite well with morale and run rampant along your line. So we'll come back to you with the rest of the fights. And the final charge, the Inquisitor here has charged the Orc boys, and being right on top of them, naturally Angus rolls an 11 for this charge, meaning that he is in. Okay, first up we're going to attack with Celestine on the Weird Boy. Yep, she gets
2s. That's 4 hits.
4 hits. A couple of 2s in there is not good.
Wounding on 3s.
Oh, that is horrendous.
1 wound.
That is 1 wound, which is going to go. Which is going to go through.
It's flat 2 damage.
Flat 2 damage, so 2 wounds taken on the Weird Boy. Oh, that was not the roll.
He gets his Pain Boy.
He does get his Pain Boy saves, you're right. So
we're going to ignore both of these.
No, that's double 2. So he takes 2 wounds, but he's still alive.
Yeah.
Not good for Celestine. So the Gemini have decided to attack the Pain Boy. So this is
3s to hit.
3s to hit. That's 5 hits.
4 hits.
4 hits, sorry, with the Gemini.
Strength 3, so you're needing 5s. So
that is 2 wounds that go through his armour, but he gets 2 6-ups. Is it single damage?
Yeah, single damage.
So, no, the Pain Boy also takes 2 wounds. And now just the Battle Sisters to see if they can finish him off. The Dominion struck and didn't manage to do any wounds against the Pain Boy, so unfortunately Angus's gamble has not paid off thanks to Celestine whiffing her attacks. He will get no prisoners, he will get Assassinate, but only realistically for 1 point. That's quite unfortunate. That's going to put him at a big disadvantage. We'll get through the rest of the attacks and we'll come back to you with the score at the end of turn 2. Combat with the Repressor, the Inquisitor and the 2 Acolytes managed to kill 3 boys. In reply, I managed to do 1 wound, 2 wounds? 2 wounds with the boys and 2 wounds with the Power Claw. Take it down a bracket. Combat over here, the Pain Boy managed to kill 1 of the Dominion, while the Weird Boy and the Knob with the WA banner didn't do anything. So in case of the morale, the Gretchen here lost 3, so I'm not going to use anything on them. That's 5, the leadership 4, they lose 1 more. The boys over here lost 14, so that leaves them with 16 models I'm actually going to, I can use 16 as my leadership. Do you know what? I'm actually just going to spend the 2 command points to keep them alive. I don't want to lose any more. And the squad in the centre here didn't lose enough. The Slugger Boys didn't lose enough to need to fail a morale check. So 2 command points spent here. And then I lost 3 boys here.
You can't tell because they take their lead.
Oh yeah, that's true, actually. I used the leadership of the Slugger Boys. So those 2 command points have essentially allowed me to pass both morale checks. So that is the end of the Sisters of Battle turn 2. We score Assassinate for 1 point, no prisoners for 1 point, and Angus's bonus victory point. So that takes the score. The Orcs are doing well, 14 points to the Orcs to 9 points for the Sisters of Battle. As you can see, the Orcs have a quite good lead and good table positioning coming into turn 3. I don't think the Sisters are going to do too much longer, and Angus is going to discard Secure Objective 1 because he wants to draw a better run of cards next turn. And odds are these Sisters here aren't going to survive too long. So we'll come back to you with the cards and the movement for Orc turn 3. So, the start of the Orc turn 3, I bet 1 card because I didn't have any in my hand, and I drew Secure Objective 3, Assassinate, Hold the Line, and Defend Objective 4. So Objective 4 is here with the Warbikers on. Might be worth keeping them there to try and defend it. Objective 3 is in the middle here with my big mob of boys surrounding it. Sorry, Secure 3. Hold the Line, Assassinate. If I can kill Celestine, I will get Hold the Line, and I will get the 3 points for Assassinate if I can kill the Gemini and her. So yeah, if I can take her out, this will be a good round of points. So it's looking good for the Orcs in turn 3, and we'll come back to you with the end of the movement phase. So my movement for turn 3, the Weird Boy fell back from combat with Celestine, while the Mega Knobs, the 2 War Bosses, and the Slugger Boys mob moved up. I was originally going to send them to Secure Objective 3 and block in the Repressor, but I thought the extra attacks for Hold the Line and taking on the Gemini would be useful. The Tank Busters just moved back a little, while this War Buggy moved over from Objective 5 to grab Objective 3. The Slugger Boys here moved up on the other Repressor, while the Warbikers just moved into the cover to hold Objective 4 there. So we'll come back to you with the Psychic phase for the Orcs on turn 3. So we just checked the Weird Boy, there's 20 Orcs in range. I could go for a Smite on Celestine, but instead I think I'll go for Warpath on the Mega Knobs to give them an extra attack, which will hopefully do them some good. So casting value of 7, I get +2 to this, and that's a 10, which should be enough. The Inquisitor is in range to block, so he's going to try and block it on a 10. Nope, and he fails. So that's +1 attack for the Mega Knobs, which should be good going into Celestine. And then with that, we'll go on to the shooting phase. So, start of the shooting phase, these Tank Busters are going to open fire on the Repressor over here. I've got 7 command points left. I think I'm going to spend 1 on Daka 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 to see if I can get a few extra hits to take it out. So that's 6 attacks, needing 5s and 6s. That's re-rolling because of my ability. So that's only 3 hits, but 1 extra shot. Doesn't hit, get the reroll, doesn't hit. So Daka 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 is useless. That's 3 hits, wounding on 3s. That is 3 wounds at -3. 3 wounds at -2.
So 5 ups. Nope.
That's 2 go through, that was 1 save, so that's down 6 wounds, it's down to 5. We'll come back to you with the rest of the shooting, probably against this Repressor. So the Warbikers here fired at the vehicle, did no damage. The War Truck in the middle, beside Objective 3, fired on it, no hits. The 2 War Bosses fired their custom shooters at it, did no damage. And finally, the Mega Knobs fired their rockets. Got 2 hits, 2 wounds, 2 failed saves, and that is a gone vehicle, which does not explode. So one of the suppressors gone, which works out well for me, and we've just got a little bit of shooting left. So this big mech with the shock attack gun is going to fire at the Retributors in the ruins over here to try and diminish their firepower a little bit. I get D6 shots, 6 shots, pretty good for me. Let's see what the strength is before I roll. Strength 4, that's not so good. Have I used my command point reroll? I don't think I have. I'll spend... No, I only spent 1 command point in Daka. Let's reroll this. 1 for a 3, strength 6. That's a bit better. Let's see if I get any hits. Oh, that's pretty good. That's 4 hits, wounding on 3s. That's 4 wounds at -5. So that's no...
6 up in Vuns.
6 up in Vuns for the sisters.
Pass 1.
Pass 1, so that's 3 dead sisters in the ruins there. Finally, this squad shot. 2 big shooters fired into the Retributors here and actually managed to kill 1. The rest of the sluggers fired at this vehicle did no damage. So that is, I believe, my shooting phase done. It's time for the charge rolls. And we're going to get a big combat going here. So we'll come back to you with charge rolls and the combat. So, quick correction. This unit doesn't actually have any big shooters because I didn't have the points left to pay for the upgrades. So this Slugger Boys unit hadn't shot yet. We'll just say their 2 big shooters fired here and we're able to kill off one of them. So that makes it easy. And we'll come back to you now with the charge rolls. I'm going to put the Mega Knobs into Celestine and that'll do for now. Just Celestine and Gemini. Sit 8 there in. That's fine. And we'll do the charges for the rest of these squads as well. So all these units charged in here. The 2 war bosses, and it's Celestine along with the Mega Knobs. And the boys managed to roll a nice 10-inch charge to get in on the Dominion and the Gemini to hopefully wipe them out, while leaving the war buggy holding secure objective 3. This squad over here declared a charge on the Repressor. 2 of the boys dying to Overwatch for the Heavy Flamer, and I rolled an 11. What I've done is move round so that I can surround the vehicle, while also allowing the 2 models here, when they pile in, they can move closer to this and within an inch of the Land Raider to stop that from shooting in the following turn. Whereas before, if I moved them a bit closer, I would have to end up closer to the Repressor or the Land Raider in order to block it up. So with that, we'll come back to you with the combats for the Orcs and the Sisters of Battle. So first up, we're going to do the Mega Knobs in combat with the Celestine and the Gemini. They have 3 attacks base, +1 for Warpath, which I cast earlier. Normally they'd be hitting on 3s, -1 for the Power Claws, but +1 because the Wa Banner is in range. So that's 16 attacks hitting on 3 pluses. That's 14 hits. I'm wounding on 2s. That is 12 wounds from the Mega Knobs onto the Sisters of Battle. So 12 saves here. So
Seraphim, dead.
First one dies.
Next girl, D3.
D3 mortal wound. Sorry, D3 wound.
Kills her.
Kills her. That was it.
Then 10 wounds on Celestine.
I think she's dead again.
I think she's probably dead, but she survived Mortarion before, so yeah. Right, then, so 10 4-ups, please. Yeah, no.
Nope. I don't even need to roll
5,
the D3s.
No, 5 goes through. You might roll 5 1s, yeah. Plus, she uses a 6-up Feel No Pain.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. She may survive, so we get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. 6-up Feel No Pain.
Sorry.
Sorry. And she passes 3, so Celestine is dead. So that gives me 3 points for Assassinate.
And 1 for Slay the Warlord.
And 1 for Slay the Warlord. So that's a good round. If I can wipe out this Dominion, which is entirely likely with these Orc boys, that gets me hold the line as well. So unsurprisingly, the Dominion squad were wiped out by the large unit of Slugger boys, hitting on a 2+ thanks to the Wa Banner, wounding on 3s. They were never going to survive. So that's me got assassinate, hold the line, slay the warlord, and we'll come back and do the attacks for the remaining couple of units. So the boys here attacked, getting 8 wounds through on the repressor, and let's see how many saves we fail.
Saves. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. 4 go through.
Not down a bracket.
And then with that, I just have the knob with the power claw left to attack. Forgot about him. Oh, that's 1 hit. That's 1 wound.
6 up. Save.
No, and does D3. It takes 2 more wounds from him.
Definitely down a bracket.
Down to 4 wounds remaining. And then we just have the combat left here in the middle to do. So my orcs will attack first and then all the attacks back. So this combat in the middle here, I managed to kill 1 of the acolytes. The boys managed to do a single wound on the repressor to take it down to 3 wounds. The knob hit with all 3 of his attacks, but then only scored a single wound. And Angus made a 6-up invuln save, so I couldn't kill the unit. So now we've just got the attacks back. If he can kill enough of these boys, he can move his vehicle. He'll definitely be able to get the squad out, because I've left the gap from there. So we'll see how he gets on here. So the attacks back from the Inquisitor and the Acolyte killed 2 Orc boys. This unit of boys is within 6 of the Slugger boys, so they'll automatically pass. And the Slugger boys will automatically pass the morale as well. So at the end of that turn, I score Hold the Line for 1 point. I score Assassinate for D3, which is 2 points. Really good rolls. And I score Secure Objective 3 as well, so that gives me 4 points, taking me up to 18 points to 9 for the sisters. Oh, plus my bonus point, so 19 points to 9.
Is that including Slay the Warlord as well?
And Slay the Warlord, so that's 20 points to 9. So the Orcs at the end of turn 3 are up by 11 points. We'll play on, but it looks like pretty much game over for the Sisters of Battle. I'm up 11 points. I've stopped the Land Raider from shooting by tying it up with my mob. The unit here can now disembark. He did kill enough Orcs to allow him to disembark now, but I have a huge row of boys. And oh, we need morale for the Sisters here.
It's true.
The Retributors.
They lost 3 superiors to the lifestyle, only failed on 6.
Well, so with that, we are now 20 points to 9 for the Orcs for the Sisters of Battle, and we will go into turn 3 for the Sisters of Battle. So turn 3 Sisters of Battle, Angus bet 1. He'd like to go for the big points, but he really doesn't have a choice here because he's only had 1 card in hand, and at the risk of giving me more. He drew Witch Hunter. My Weird Boy is quite wounded, but he's not going to be able to get him quite easily. Defend Objective 6, which he's sitting on, so that's okay. Hold the Line. If he can take out this unit of boys here, but he can't shoot at them, so that's going to be tricky. And Secure Objective 1, which again he's going to have real problems with, so not a great turn. I don't think he's going to get any this turn, so we'll move on to the movement phase for the Sisters on turn 3. So Angus uses Acts of Faith to fire with the Retributors. He put 1 wound on the Warbuggy in the centre here and killed 1 of the Slugger boys here. So with that we'll go on to his movement phase. So this Retributor was actually able to fall back from combat. He'd killed enough Orcs to allow it to move in the gap. The Land Raider fell back here. Not going to be able to shoot, but looking for future turns, while the Imagifier, I keep wanting to say Imogen moved towards the boys over here. So you can see, if we take a look at the battlefield, we've got a big load of Orcs around and not too many of the Sisters left, I'm afraid. So we'll see if Angus can salvage anything with his Psychic shooting phase and his Assault phase. So Smite from the Inquisitor gets a 6, my Weird Boy is still alive. And I block it with a 10. That's unfortunate. So the squad inside this Repressor is going to fire. Normally a unit in a vehicle couldn't fire from falling back, but this Forge World, weird Forge World rules for the Repressor means that the unit inside can still fire. when falling back. So he's going to fire two of the melters into the war buggy. He's going to put 3 melter shots into the mega knobs, hoping to kill some of them, and a single bolter into the boys here. So let's see how we get on with the melters.
3 melter guns.
That's 2 hits.
And
that's 1 wound. And
4.
Nope, that's not a save.
So
D6.
3 damage.
3 damage. I have the pain boy nearby. He's close enough. And I save 1, so 1 knob is on 2, well, 1 wound remaining. 2 into the war buggy. That's 2 hits.
2 wounds.
That's 2 wounds. I don't get a save against this.
So first one does
4.
Next
Second
one does 1.
It's just enough to kill it, I think. Let's check. So that is enough to kill it. Does it explode?
Oh, no.
It does. It explodes. Do you know what? We're going to leave that. We're going to leave that explosion. So it'll do 1 mortal wound to all units within 3 inches. So that
Just
is
3.
Hold on. Scratch that. The war buggies don't actually have an explode rule, so no damage at all. It's just removed from play. So the Retributors in the ruins here fired at the Slugger Boys, killing 4 of them. The squad inside here fired their bolt pistols into the boys, killing 3 of them. Again, weird Forge World things they're allowed to shoot.
That's allowed by other...
Squad inside allowed?
Yeah.
Fair enough. So that we move on to the combats. Let's see if the sisters can pull anything back. And again here, removing the casualties to make sure it can't fall back, keeping it locked in. So that'll be good. So Angus decided to charge Imogen in here into the boys. She managed to make the charge in, so we'll see what damage she can do if she can clear some of these boys away.
She gets 3 attacks, hitting on 3, so pretty certain because she's a veteran, so that's, well, I'll hit anyway. They're wounding on 5s for 1 wound on the boys.
1 wound on the boys. No AP?
No AP, no.
And he saves it, so that was pretty pointless. So we'll resolve the rest of the attacks for the Orcs and the Sisters, and we'll see what effect that has on the score. So the Orcs attacked in it. Imogen didn't do any damage, done 1 wound that was saved. The boys managed to put a single wound on the Retributor, and now let's see if the knob with the power claw can finish it off. So we've got 3 attacks, hitting on 4s. Oh, that is no hits. Let's command point 1 of them. I've got down to 4 now. He hits. He wounds.
6 up
6 up save. No, D3. If this is a 5 or a 6, the vehicle's gone.
No.
Oh, it's a 4. It's down to 1 wound remaining. So over here, the Inquisitor managed to kill 3 of the boys, so that left just the knob and took him out of combat. That's all the combats. Oh no, the attacks from the
single attack. Now.
Single attack from the
which misses.
Misses with the presser. So we'll need to go on to morale, see if that has any effect, and we'll come back to you with the score. So the morale phase, the lone knob that was there ran away. At the end of his turn, Angus doesn't score any points. He can't get Witch Hunter. He's currently defending 6, but he hasn't got that yet. He hasn't secured 1. He hasn't held the line because I've got this unit of boys still alive here. So I will score his bonus 1 point. I'll also score defend objective 4, which I was on, and Angus is going to discard Witch Hunter, which currently puts the score at 23 points to the Orcs, to 9 points to the Sisters of Battle. So that is not going well for the Sisters. We'll see how they continue to get on. So, with the Orc turn 4, I bet 1 point. There's no point rubbing it in here by betting more. I drew Secure Objective 3, Master the Warp, Defend Objective 1, and Supremacy. So, Objective 3 is on the centre here. I can move into it. Defend 1 is in my deployment zone. Supremacy, I can probably easily get.
You've already got it.
Yes, I've already got that. I've got the Grots over here who have done nothing this game but hold the objective. And Master the Warp I can probably get, so that's another good round of points for me, unfortunately, for Angus. So we'll come back to you with the Orc movement phase after this. So the Orc movement phase, the Warbikers stayed where they were on the objective. The Meganobs advanced 1 inch towards the Repressor, while the Slugger Boys moved up towards the Oppressor, hoping to destroy this and take the objective from them. This squad remained locked in combat, and that was about it. So the Psychic phase, we are going to cast Warpath on the Meganobs to give them extra attacks against the Retributor, or the Repressor. That's +2, I believe, in range, so that's a 7, that's a cast. But that is denied, so no Master of the Warp for me. And we'll come back to you with the shooting phase for the Orcs. We're going to start with the Tank Busters back here on the objective, firing at this Repressor. I'm not going to use the Stratagem, even though I've got 4 command points left. I'll save that for elsewhere. Hitting on 5s with rerolls. That's 1 hit. With rerolls. That's 3 hits. That's not too bad. I just need 1 of these to go through. That is 1 wound. Let's command point 1 of them. That's 2 wounds. Down to 3 command points left. And 5 ups for Angus. Oh, and he saves both of them. Let's put the 4 rockets from the Meganobs. I advance, so that's -1. That is 1 hit. That is 1 wound.
And a 5 up.
And that is a destroyed Repressor.
Explodes. It does not explode.
Does not explode. So we'll come back to you with the deployment of his units and the rest of my shooting. So Angus's fantastic rolling continues with 3 of the Battle Sisters in the crater perishing to the destroyed tank. So I'm going to fire these Slugger Boys at them and we'll see how many can survive. Deploying in the crater to get the cover save. We'll see what they can do. So this mob of Slugger Boys fired at them, did 1 wound with my Slugger and actually managed to kill 1 on a 2-up save. Now the mech with the shock attack gun in the backfield there is going to fire at these Retributors to try and finish them off. So I get D6 shots.
Again!
The strength is 8. So that's pretty good. If I can get a few hits here, he's going to do well. He gets 1 hit. And he gets 1 wound.
6 up involved?
Nope, so kills 1 of the Retributors. Oh, I should have fired at the Land Raider, but oh well. Might have done some damage with that. So I believe that's... Oh no, I've still got the Warbikers to fire. So these Warbikers are going to fire at the Retributors, and we'll see if they can do any damage there. So Warbikers, can they see them?
I think that guy there can see this guy here, but the other 2 can't see this guy.
Okay, so we get 1 firing at it. We'll see if he can do any damage. Roll them while they're here. That's 4 hits. And that is 3 wounds.
2 up save. Let's see how many of these I can fail. No.
Oh, he barely makes them all. So with that, we will see what the Orcs can do in charge phase. I think these sisters in the crater are in trouble.
They can fire their sluggers.
They can fire their slug. Oh yes! So the unit here, the Retributor, has 1 wound remaining. Let's see if we can take it out with the Slugger Fire. So the Slugger Fire, I managed 10 Slugger shots, I managed to do 1 wound. It's on 1 wound remaining. Let's see it.
Save.
Oh, and it's destroyed. Does it blow up?
No.
It doesn't blow up. And the squad inside are...
I can get out 1 girl.
Yeah, only 1 can get out without being slain, unfortunately. That is not going to go well. The sisters, so you shouldn't have reminded me about those pistols. So we'll come back and see what charges we can do. Charge phase, the Meganobs are going to attempt to charge against the sisters in the crater. Measure it up, and we need an 8. Let's see if we get in before we resolve Overwatch. That's a 7, but because we're Orcs we get to reroll failed charges. And that's a 5, but we'll resolve the Overwatch and then we'll charge in with the other unit of boys. So Overwatch did no damage, now we charge in with the boys, needing a similar roll. A 3, so that's no good, so we'll need to re-roll that. And a 7, that's also a fail I believe, we'll just check that. Yeah, no, just outside of 8, so that's 2 failed charges. Looks like those sisters are going to survive, but we will do a charge against...
Can't, because you're already tied up in...
That's right, I'm already tied up in combat with Imogen.
Yeah.
Most annoyingly that. So, no charges for the Orcs, we just need to resolve the combat over here, and then that will be us for the turn. Okay, so the Inquisitor heroically intervened into the Orcs here, and we're going to resolve the attacks for this combat. I will get to attack first because it's my turn, and then we will see if these boys and sisters can survive. So, at the end of the combat, the Orcs were able to take the Imagifier down to 1 wound and kill the last sister, and the Inquisitor and Imogen were able to kill off 3 wounds, 3 Orcs in reply. So, good chance of wiping these out to get hold the line in this turn. So at the end of my turn, this is how the battlefield's looking. Those 2 failed charges against the sisters were not the best. I will score D3 for supremacy. 1 point for supremacy.
Only one
Only
point.
one. I don't get Master of the Warp. I do get Secure Objective 3 when I'm on it. But Angus also scores Secure Defend Objective 6, which he was on. And I start Defending Objective 1, which I'm on as well. So that takes us to 26 points to the Orcs with my bonus point, to 11 for the Sisters of Battle. So we'll see how we get on with turn 4. Start of turn 4 for the Sisters of Battle. Angus bet 1 again because he only had 1 card in his hand he could do, which was hold the line. He's got Defend Objective 2, Defend Objective 4 and Secure Objective 1. 2 is over here, being held by the Gretchen for the whole game. 1's still in my deployment zone, so little to do. 4's also held by my Warbikers, so realistically he has to kill this unit of Orcs to get hold the line. So we'll come back to you with the movement phase and the Acts of Faith for the Sisters going into turn 4. So the Sisters movement phase, both Acts of Faith failed. The Retributors and the Runes failed to fire, and the Imogen failed to attack as if it was the fight phase. But in reply, the Inquisitor and Imogen both fell back from combat while the Sisters moved up. This allowed the Land Raider, the Jokero, jumped out of the Land Raider, and this will allow the Land Raider to target the Orc boys and hopefully deal with them to score hold the line. So we go on to the Psychic phase. The Inquisitors.
Just a smite on those boys. It goes off to 5.
Yeah. Goes off to 5. We're just out of range to block it with my Inquisitor, so that is 3 dead Orcs. That's pretty good to start with, and we'll come back to you with the shooting phase, most likely with more dead Orcs. So, the Sisters of Battle, the Retributors and the Sisters with the Metal Guns open fire on the Orc boys there. As you can see, they're all dead. The Jokero over here in the woods used his ability in the Land Raider. He's going to get to re-roll failed hits, and the Land Raider is going to target these boys here with his quad heavy bolters. Let's see how he gets on. That's a lot of good hits.
24.
So with rerolls, that's 24 shots, needing 3s to wins. Let's see how many wins we get. That's 18 wins. Let's see how many I can save. No armor save because of the quad heavy bolters. Just 6 up from the pain boy. Oh, and that is 11 dead Orcs. That could be bad. So after a great round of shooting from the Land Raider, that leaves me with 2 Orcs remaining in this mob, so they're going to flee from morale, unless I keep them alive. Things are looking a lot better now. I mean, not score-wise, not points-wise, but board-wise for the Sisters of Battle. At the end of his turn, morale phase, I've got 3 command points left. Let's pay the 2 to keep this squad alive with Insane Bravery. Keep them alive for what it's worth. At the end of his turn, he's going to score Hold the Line for clearing the Orcs out and his bonus point, and I am going to score Defend Objective 1. So that will take us to 28 points to 13 for the Sisters of Battle.
I'll discard Defend 2.
And he's going to discard Defend 2. So not a huge amount of Orcs left, but then again, not a huge amount of Sisters left either. But the scoreline is quite telling, I'm afraid. So we'll go into Orcs turn 5, which will likely be the last turn of the game. we're not going to have an Orcs turn 4. Angus has decided to concede. It's 28 points to 13 in favour of the Orcs. There's not many Orcs left, but there's even fewer sisters left in the battle. So overall, a good game for the Orcs. Still, even though they don't have a codex yet, still a really powerful army against selected armies. It's the hordes. The hordes of boys are good. The bonus attacks, the +1 to hit, the reroll charges, they're very strong. Looking back at the game, I think not getting first turn did hurt. Angus...
It hurt, but not quite as much as it could have been.
No, I only killed a single unit, but it was one less turn of shooting for you before I got in. I'm wondering, was sending Celestine and the Seraphim after the battle wagon, was that a good call in your opinion?
I think it would have been a good call if I'd managed to pop the battle wagon earlier. The idea was to pop the characters and then maybe have a crack at the Mega Knobs with Celestine. That happened, obviously, but Celestine whiffed all of her hits, and I didn't kill the battle wagon as nearly as soon as I thought I would. The idea was to like crack it open with a few melter shots, and then like get a few melter shots into the Mega Knobs, and then charge with Celestine. Obviously, that didn't happen.
No, you were very unlucky. I would have expected Celestine to at least, if not wipe out the Mega Knobs, at least seriously hurt them. That wasn't ideal. Whiffing on all of her attacks.
Yeah.
I think you took out the battle wagon. You were in good position to take on the Mega Knobs and the tank busters. I wonder if charging the Seraphim in to help out with the Mega Knobs might have done some damage.
Not really, because Mega Knobs still have a 2-up save and Seraphim only a strength 3. So there was one power sword in the unit, but that would still only be one power sword hitting on 3s, winning on 5s. Like single damage.
I think the Land Raider is a good addition to the army. It's something I haven't fought before with Angus.
I misused it though, because I think the first time that it got caught up in combat was entirely my fault, and I should have like arranged it. I shouldn't have brought it so far forward. But the second time, I feel I was really let down by the dice, because the unit of boys which tied it up would have been tied up by my repressor if I'd made a 3-inch charge, which was really frustrating.
That was unfortunate. I think you should have got another turn of firepower, and as you can see on the end here, when it's able to fire,
it'll clear out like 20 points.
It does a lot of damage. It basically, with a couple of 3 or 4 tons of that shooting, could easily decimate a mob or two, at least. Again, I never like to blame the cards in Maelstrom, but my cards were really good. My cards were basically, apart from turn 1, where my hubris, I lost 2 bonus points, I was pretty much able to achieve everything turn after that. While Angus's cards kept drawing. He did draw objective 6.
They were good cards, I think, because there was that particular round where I had Assassinate, No Prisoners, and both secure 1s. Celestine should really statistically easily be able to eat a single Pain Boy, because she's hitting him on 2s, wounding him on 3s,
Weird boy, yeah.
But she only managed to put 2 wounds on him, which really felt like she could have done more there.
Celestine a little disappointing this game.
I don't think she had a single good round of combat the entire game. She's usually the opposite.
Some good tactical decisions for you. The debate of whether to go after objective 1 with Celestine or the characters. I think had you done a bit more damage to the grots in the shooting phase.
It's interesting because the grots were physically hidden, because it's a bit hard to tell with this board now, but at the time I couldn't actually see the grots from any of my backline shooting.
Yeah,
because there was like all of these Mega Knobs are huge and the grots are tiny, which meant that all of my anti-infantry shooting on the backline couldn't even see them to shoot them, which was a bit frustrating.
The deployment zone certainly helped with me getting to choose the deployment zone. I didn't really make use of the line of sight blocking Bastion, but more importantly, it denied it to you.
Yeah.
And it denied, that would have been a really good viewpoint
exactly.
for your Retributors.
If I sat my Retributors up here, then the boys would have a really tough time dislodging.
And you could have, with me getting first turn, you could have scout moved your vehicles out of line of sight to stop the tank busters from firing them. So one, again, choosing the deployment zone was useful. And I'm not sure if deploying your vehicles further back in turn 1.
No, you're entirely right. I was way too aggressive with the Land Raider when I really didn't need to be. If I'd kept it where it's sitting now, I probably would have gotten out 4 turns of shooting.
Yeah, with it in the corner, it had the range. it wasn't really transporting anything that needed to get into combat.
No, there's no. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, the Inquisitor and the Acolytes are really honestly just there as attacks for the Jakar and the Land Raider.
Yeah. I think it was just. I think parking the Land Raider at the back, you would have been able to fire. Parking your vehicles a bit further back in your deployment zone, my rockets probably wouldn't have been in range.
Oh, only 36 inches.
Well, they're only 24.
Oh, I didn't realise that at all.
So, with 12-inch move for the Land Raid, the Battle Wagon, I probably would have got one unit in. But, as you saw, I really only just managed to kill your Immolator on turn 1. I'd managed to take 9 wounds off it with the Tank Busters, but I struggled to get the last wound. I think that would have really helped you if you deployed further back.
If I deployed further back and spent like 1 or 2 turns just hacking at your boy mob before trying to go in, I probably would have had a different result.
The problem with that in Maelstrom is in Eternal War, that's great.
But you just give up too many victory
In
points.
Maelstrom, you can give up too many cards. As it was though, the cards you never drew objective 3 or 5, which were in the middle.
I drew 1 a lot.
You drew 1 a lot, which was 9 deployments on 2, which was practically impossible behind this bastion here. You had some good cards. I thought turn 2 you could have pulled it around you. If your plan to seize objective 1 and assassinate had come off, that would have been a lot of points. That would have brought you back in.
Pain Boy, because clearing out the mech before it would work. If I managed to clear out the other 2 characters, that would have given me potentially up to 6 victory points, which would have been. I would have still been on the back foot, but it wouldn't have been nearly so bad. And without the Pain Boy there, you wouldn't have been able to like have any saves at all for your boys. Which would have hacked them through.
Yes, and rolling 6 for my 2d3 victory points from a Maelstrom was not kind to you. I will admit, scoring 10 points in a single turn is pretty good on Maelstrom. It's incredibly strong.
At the end of the day, I would have lost anyway, finally, because I played it badly.
I certainly
lost so badly.
Anyone who read my blogs know I'll frequently complain about dice rolls not being in this game.
Not this game.
I could not stop rolling 5s and 6s for big mechs and pain boys, whereas you couldn't make a 3-inch charge.
Yeah.
I think that shows you
with a reroll
how much the dice were not in your favour. I think you also failed a 2-up rerollable for your.
It wasn't a rerollable, but it was a 2-up save. It was a single wound. It was a 2-up
Oh no, for your
Acts
of Faith.
I think I did that twice.
Yeah,
I did that twice this game.
There was a couple of double 1 rerolls, which with your failed 3-inch charge, Celestine whiffing in combat for 2 rounds.
Yeah.
I think the dice gods were not in your favour this game, and they were shining. They want more orcs on the table. They were shining down on the orcs. But overall, thanks for the game. It was a fun game. I'm sorry it wasn't a bit closer.
It's fine. It was a lot of fun for what it was.
It was fun. I'm looking forward to October with the new codex. I think the even as an index army, it's really strong. So I'll be very interested to see what the codex brings, and hopefully you'll be seeing a lot more orcs.
Hopefully more viable
on the
tabletop. Viable unit choices, because it still feels like the best way to run orcs is just a huge mob of boys with some tank busters and just run them up the field.
Yeah, pretty much.
It'd be nice to see like more unit variety. Obviously there was unit variety here, but the core of the army was still 3 big blobs of boys.
I think their morale is morale is incredibly powerful. Your best bet with orcs is to basically whittle down each unit to half or less, but that's most armies that's incredibly difficult to do.
Yeah.
I mean, you can aim for wiping out 1 unit at a time, but you're never going to fail morale. And realistically, if you've got next to a unit of 30 boys, you're never running. The unit's wiped out essentially before you run, so that's I don't know if I'd like to see that go in the codex, because it is orky.
You might have something down with like not being able to take it from allied orcs, or maybe reducing the range that you can take it from allied orcs, maybe. But it's still fun.
It is incredibly powerful. So we'll be interested to see if the orcs get the 3 command point fight again stratagem.
That would be disgusting.
That is going to be insane because a large mob of orcs will pretty much demolish. It's the same with Gene Stealers. If my Gene Stealer cults get a fight again stratagem, the Gene Stealers are going to be incredibly strong. taking out lots of units. So I think I've played Angus's Sisters a few times. He's taken this battle.
I've yet to win.
He's yet to.
I've yet to win.
He's not had fun. He doesn't.
I never get first turn.
He's not. All the times we've played, he's not really got first turn, even when he should have.
Yeah.
So a lot of his scout moves have been wasted, or else I was using my scouts in one game to block you. He's taken this army to Battlefield Birmingham.
Or something very similar to it.
Or something very similar. I think he'll be strong. I don't think you'll have much of it. You might see a lot of knights, but you shouldn't have in it. You've got so many melter guns.
The idea is, well, I mean, I doubt I'll be up against the knights and Draconian top tables. The idea is to just beat the smaller lists on small tables. Like, I'm sure with Redux, I could have probably maybe won this battle or something similar to this battle. I aim to get best in faction, not top tables.
Yeah, but I think even on the lower tables, when I went to the GT, knights weren't. Depending on the mission.
That was prior to the Knights Codex, though.
No, that was with the Knights Codex. Yeah,
really?
no, because I faced.
Oh, no, sorry, you're wrong GT. You're Warhammer GT.
Yeah, Warhammer GT. So Knights weren't doing. Because of the missions, Knights weren't. I think you could beat them on the mission. If you face a full Knights army, you can probably kill one or two with your shooting before they take you out. But if you play the objectives, I think you'll have a really strong chance.
I found when personally facing Knights that I can alpha one knight off the table with roughly what I've got here, but it's the struggle of the other knights. Like, essentially, because you can't block knights with infantry, you have to block them with vehicles. Knights can be easily kicked to death a rhino each turn.
Yeah, and the new Castellan will delete 3 vehicles a turn. So I think there'll be a tough concept, but I think knights are beatable if you play the mission right. If you go after the Maelstrom and hide everything to the end game.
If the terrain's in your favour and you can hide.
Oh, you definitely need. We might have. I mean,
this terrain's fine.
Yeah, we did have some good line of sight blocking, but
we played on the other side of the table.
Unfortunately, the biggest line of sight block in this game was the Orcs.
Yeah,
just stopping you demolishing the Gretchen,
yep.
Which was unfortunate. But thanks again to Angus for a great game. If you like the games we're playing, the battle reports, please like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you.